Universal Studios has had a lot of changes over the last few years, and by a lot of changes, I mean a lot of changes. From a park that was kind of the underdog in the Florida theme park industry to now being one of the most visited parks in the state, I think that Universal has come a long, long way, and they're about to break the theme park industry when they open their third gate. Guess it's technically a third gate, even though Volcano Bay does exist. They're opening their third gate called Epic Universe, and this is supposed to be released sometimes in 2025. Obviously, it's still being built, and a lot of the attractions are still being put together, still being tested, so there could always be setbacks. However, we've gotten so many announcements, and I wanted to kind of sit down and go over them. I did want to go over these a few weeks ago, but we just got the announcement last week of the land I've been looking forward to the most, and obviously, you'll figure it out when we get there. I'm going to go in the order of the announcements. And there is one more land that hasn't had their details announced. I'm probably not going to include it in a video. I'll explain why, or you'll know why. So, before we get into the video, hi, I'm Shay, and this is Creepy Critiques. This isn't one of the normal videos I do. I usually either do like movie content or like content about Halloween Horror Nights, so I guess it still kind of fits the bill because it is theme park content. Um, and this week I was planning on doing another video, which was still in the realm of Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Studios. However, I was sitting down to edit that video and I realized it was going to be a behemoth of a video, and I just messed up the recording. I was rushing through it, and I really want to take the time to enjoy that video. So I'm going to put it on the back burner for now. Not on the back burner, but I'm going to put it like to the side for now. We're going to come back to it, and it will, I promise you, you will get the fun Halloween Horror Nights video soon. I have a lot of fun stuff coming up for you. I am going to announce right now that I will not be in town next week. You're going to be seeing this video probably in like a couple of days. And next week, I will be out of town visiting family. So I won't be recording. I don't have anything queued up for that week. So yay. But I will be recording several videos when I get back. So I'm really excited. Um, so yeah, let's talk a little bit about Epic Universe because I am thrilled for this park. Like this park, when they first announced it, like way back when, it was like one of those things that didn't sound like it was going to be real. Like I kept saying, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I mean, Universal bought this land many years ago, and everyone was wondering what they were going to do with this land. And when they announced that they were going to be opening their third gate, it was kind of like, okay, and especially because it isn't right where Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure are. A lot of people thought, like, why would they open a third gate all the way over there? Because you have Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and Volcano Bay. But if you've ever been to Universal Studios in Orlando, you know that that area is kind of like they can't go any further. There's a school like right behind Universal Studios. If you didn't know, now you know. There's a high school back there, so they really can't go any farther. There's a bunch of like I think business buildings. It's just yeah, they really can't. I even think there's apartment buildings around there somewhere. So definitely not a location that they can just demolish and build a third gate. So they picked a more vacant location and decided to build on there. And this park just sounds incredible. It sounds like it's going to be super immersive. And that's one thing that for me, like, I love both Disney and Universal. I know I haven't really covered any Disney content on here. I do have a few Disney videos that I have planned. We'll get to them. But I do love both Disney and Universal, but I will say Universal kind of kills it with the immersion for me. I've been going to Universal Studios since like 2003. My family has annual passes, and I used to go very frequently. I kind of slowed down um, just because oversaturation for myself. And I'm excited to see what happens when Epic Universe opens. I'm excited to see how much fun it's going to be and what kind of attractions we're going to get. I mean, we know what kind of attractions we're going to get, but I want to see what they are, like what the attractions are. So, a couple months ago, actually, they did officially announce that Epic Universe is coming, and they have a little trailer. I'll drop the links to everything that I'm talking about in here in the description in case you guys are like, I want to see what they're talking about. They dropped everything that they're talking about, all the like the big promo like announcement video, and then also these individual promo videos where they kind of go in depth on what's going to in what these parks are going to entail. So, without further ado, we're going to kind of just do a quick run through, and then I'm going to talk about the three main lands that they've announced and they've told us more details about. I do believe maybe the other one, the main hub, is announced too. I have to look, but yeah, I'm going to talk about the big ones that they've announced, and then I'll also mention the other one, and you can follow the website if you want updates on that one. Okay, so Universal Studios Epic Universe, which is slated to be opening in 2025, is going to contain five separate lands. One is an original land, and the other four are based on popular IPs. So the original land is called Celestial Park, and it is sort of like a. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but it's sort of like a mystical little park. There's going to be a lot of shops there. It's supposed to be based off of the gods and everything like that. It seems really cool. There's also going to be a hotel inside of the park, and I can only imagine how that hotel is going to sell out real quick once I think they haven't, I don't think they've opened bookings yet, or have they? I think they might have opened bookings. Either that or they just added it on there. I know I did see it on there when I was looking at hotels for Halloween Horror Nights. I know I did see it on there. But I don't know if they're actually available to book yet because there is no official date. It just says opening 2025. So, but we'll come back and we'll talk about more about Celestial Park in a minute. The other lands that they've announced. So we have Super Nintendo World. Now, this was actually announced years ago before they announced Epic Universe was coming. When they first announced they were going to be opening Super Nintendo World in Japan, and then in the subsequent parks following it, many people kind of speculated where Super Nintendo World was going to go. A lot of people thought it was going to take over the Lost Continent area that's kind of barren right now in Islands of Adventure. But we later found out that it was actually going to be opening with Epic Universe. So we'll have Super Nintendo World and Epic Universe. And we will talk about that because it's a little bit different than the Super Nintendo Worlds in Japan and in Hollywood. Then we're also getting How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, which, if you've never seen the How to Train Your Dragon movies, they're very cute movies based off of like Viking lore with dragons. I love the first movie. I've never seen the other two or the show that like goes along with it, but I love the first movie. I'm really excited about this land. I wasn't initially until I heard the plans for it, and I was like, oh, this seems like it's going to be so cute. That one is going to be more of like a kids. I know a lot of people are saying like the entire park is very kiddie, but I don't think it is. That one's going to be more geared towards children and a little bit less geared towards adults. There's a lot of stuff for kids to do there, but I still think it's going to be fun. Even if you don't have kids, definitely worth checking out. The next one is the land I'm most excited for, and this is the land that they just announced last week, and they told us everything that's going to be in it, and I'm not going to lie to you, I am ready for this to be open yesterday, and that's Dark Universe. Obviously, Dark Universe, you think in your mind, what could that actually be? Oh, the Universal monsters. So Frankenstein, the Mummy, Dracula, all of the classic Universal monsters from the old movies are going to finally get their just desserts at a Universal Studios theme park. We're not going to just be seeing them during Halloween Horror Nights now. We're going to be seeing them year round once this land opens, and you're going to see the hype I have when I talk about this land in a few minutes. And then finally, we have another Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic, which is supposed to take place, the park is going to be within the Ministry of Magic. A lot of the attractions are going to be within the Ministry of Magic. I don't know. They have not announced details for this one. This is one that I'm going to leave the link to the Epic Universe site and let you guys check it out on your own. I'm not going to come back and revisit this one. I'm not going to get into it, but there's reasons I'm not going to come back and revisit this one. I want to be respectful of everybody's beliefs, and I don't want people to feel like I'm supporting or promoting something that is problematic. So if you are interested in this land, you can go online when they announce it and check it out. But in any case, being respectful, and by the way, that's no disrespect to Universal. I still love you, Universal. I just want to make sure that my audience knows where I stand on that. So let's move on to talking about each land. Now, the first one that they officially, and that's actually, let's start with Celestial Park. Let's start with Celestial Park because this doesn't have as much stuff in it. It does have quite a bit of stuff, but so the first thing we're going to talk about with Celestial Park is the roller coaster they have called Stardust Racers. So Stardust Racers is going to be more of a grown-up thrill ride. It is the minimum height for it is 48 inches, or 122 centimeters if you don't know what the inches are. It is more of a thrill ride. It is a dueling coaster, so there's going to be two cars, going, next to each other. This is what it says about the Stardust Racers, and that it says ride a shooting star across the cosmos. Share a race across the cosmos on Stardust Racers, a breathtaking dual launch coaster reaching incredible speeds up to 62 miles per hour. Board a comet and rocket to the furthest reaches of the stars at heights up to 133 feet along 5,000 feet of track. Race along an inverted crisscross known as the Celestial Spin in a dazzling display of blazing colors and ethereal music. So I'll put a picture of the artist rendering. Obviously, we don't have the actual, pictures yet, but it sounds awesome. It sounds really cool. It says, okay, so it does say a fact about this roller coaster is with no external track lighting at night, the fully illuminated ride vehicles appear as comets shooting across the night sky above Celestial Park. So I bet that's going to be really pretty when it's dark out. Like that's going to be really pretty. Like all you're going to see is the the cars going by. That's going to be really pretty. So that's the first thing. Then we also have the Constellation Carousel, and this is obviously a family ride. Anybody can go on it. It's a carousel. So it says, discover a new spin on carousels. Climb aboard this imaginative carousel where the cosmic energy of the universe enables guests to ride the constellations themselves. Guest carriages include celestial lions, dragons, peacocks, and more. Each carriage turns 360 degrees while lifting riders up to 6 feet in the air. Celestial music and color dazzle your senses while you whirl and twirl together across the Milky Way. And some of the artist renderings are really pretty on this one. What's the fast fact that we've got here? The ceiling of Constellation Carousel is a star tracker featuring rotating celestial star patterns with a center mesmerizer creating a ribbon cone effect above you while riding. That all sounds like gibberish to me, but I'm sure somebody watching this knows what that means. So interesting. That sounds cute. I'm not a big fan of carousels personally. I don't really do like things that spin too much. Like if it's a little bit of spinning, sure, but like things that just go around, especially if it goes around slowly in a circle for some reason. But I'll definitely try that one out. That just because it seems a little different. Then we have a restaurant called the Atlantic. It's a full service restaurant. They don't really have a lot of details about what kind of cuisine it's going to be yet, but it does say an undersea adventure in fine dining. Across the shimmering waters of the Neptune Pool in Celestial Park, Atlantic is an undersea culinary fantasy. Inside glass walls reminiscent of an enormous Victorian aquarium, starfish dwell peacefully with serene, illuminated fish swimming above you. Indulge in exceptional seafood and steaks, or enjoy a cocktail at the lively Aquaria bar. Obviously, you have to be 21 or older, and And the fast fact of this one says, dining in the deep. The decorative fish that line the ceiling are surrounded by metallic curtains that shimmer as they sway, creating the illusion of being underwater in a massive aquarium. So basically, kind of like an underwater dining area, which is cool. I like that. That's cute. Okay, so then they're also going to have a Nintendo store in Celestial Park. Interesting. The Nintendo Superstar Store. And it says it's an entire store full of Nintendo toys and apparel. Gaming fans will find something to level up their fun at the Nintendo Superstar Store in Celestial Park. Step inside and discover toys, apparel, and other colorful keepsakes and souvenirs based on characters from Super Nintendo World and more. Interesting that they're going to have a Super Nintendo store in the main hub, but I guess that makes sense because they did say there was going to be some shopping and like dining and stuff. And then the last thing for Celestial Park is another restaurant, which sounds like it's just from the description and the look of it, it sounds like it's going to be up my alley. It's called the Blue Dragon Pan Asian Restaurant. So it says, the glow of neon, the allure of Asian delicacies. Take a culinary journey across Asia at the Blue Dragon Pan Asian Restaurant in Universal Epic Universe. Step inside a bustling courtyard where it's always evening under the glow of ethereal lanterns. Enjoy authentic Pan-Asian cuisine as dazzling neon dragons chase across the walls or curl up with a cocktail at the Tiger Bar. Oh, this looks so pretty. It really does. Yeah, that's probably going to be my favorite restaurant at the park, I ain't gonna lie. Oh, there's a fast fact for this one. There wasn't for the last two. Be sure to keep your eyes open while dining. The signage hanging around the restaurant contains many Easter eggs of Celestial Park you won't want to miss. All right, so there's going to be an Easter egg hunt. I'll try to keep that in mind for when this opens. And that's the last big thing that's in Celestial Park. So it sounds cute. There's two rides, a couple of restaurants, a store. We're getting there. So introducing How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. Discover a world of dragon-sized adventure. Journey to a rocky isle and discover a village populated by rugged Vikings and rambunctious dragons. From an exciting coaster to a heartwarming live show, it's fire-breathing fun for all ages. So then we've got the first big attraction here is Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Now, Hiccup, if you've never seen the movie, is the main character of the movie. I'll put a picture of him up here. So this one is going to be a little bit more of a family coaster, it looks like. The minimum height requirement is 40 inches or 102 centimeters for those who, don't know. So it says take flight on Hiccup's Wing Gliders. From Hiccup's workshop comes his latest contraption, a winged flying machine that launches aspiring dragon riders into the air, swooping and soaring and encountering Hiccup and Toothless along the way. Get ready to board Hiccup's Wing Gliders, a fun coaster that invites Vikings to prove they're brave enough to speed through the sky with dragons. Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be super cute, super fun. I love the art style that they've got going on. I'm definitely down with it. Fast fact. Okay, this looks like it might be a fast fact about, we'll see. Cracking the case of the ginormous Gronkle, I think that's how you say it, Gronkle egg. The Gronkle eggshell stain on Hiccup's Wing Gliders weighs as much as 84 large chicken eggs, which is about 13 pounds. So when you're in line for this ride, you can tell your friends that Gronkle eggshell weighs 13 pounds. I don't know what the Gronkle egg is. It's got to be something from the movie. All right, so let's move on to the next attraction. This is something I'm really excited for. I'm excited for the roller coaster, but I'm also really excited for this. And this is The Untrainable Dragon. It is a show, and they actually have this show or I'm not sure if they still do, but they had this show in Universal Studios Japan. So it says, a dragon-studded live spectacular. When a new dragon shows up on the Isle of Berk, the Vikings think they may have finally met their match. Hiccup and Toothless, with help from Gobber and Astrid, work together to solve the mystery of the untrainable dragon. Experience the wonder of dragons on stage and soaring overhead in this spectacular music-filled, heartwarming live show. So this show, just to let you know, their dragons are actually going to be flying into the audience. So that's going to be pretty cool. I love live entertainment, and I really wish that's something that Universal is severely lacking. There's not a lot of live entertainment anymore there. So I'm really glad that they're bringing a show like this to Epic Universe. I think it's going to be really cool. And the fast fact for this one is a 27-foot wingspan wonder. Toothless soars above the audience, weighing in at 1,157 pounds with a wingspan of nearly 27 feet. That's a lot. That's a lot. Toothless is a big boy. I love Toothless. I call my cat Toothless sometimes because sometimes when she's gonna attack me, she kind of looks like Toothless does. The next attraction we have is called Dragon Racers Rally, and this one is going to be more of a thrill ride. The minimum height requirement is 48 inches or 122 centimeters. And this one says, train to be a champion dragon racer. The sport of dragon racing is celebrated as a celebrated pastime on the Isle of Berk. At Dragon Racers Rally, Berk's new Vikings can practice aerobatic? I've never seen that word before in my life. Okay, I'm just exposing how illiterate I am, apparently. Aerobatic maneuvers and high-speed barrel rolls on a Viking-made dragon riding trainer. You'll need these high-flying, gravity-defying, swooping and soaring skills if you hope to become a champion dragon racer. So this ride is one of those, it looks like a claw ride thing, or it's one of those that, it lifts you up and then, your individual thing spins. I don't know how I feel about that. Those rides scare me. When I see them at, fairs and stuff, they scare me. I guess maybe I'd be willing to try it at a theme park because they're usually more heavily regulated, but yeah, those type of rides scare me because they just look so dangerous. but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try everything in this park when I do get to go to it. So it says for the fast fact, it says a world of dragon-sized adventure. The world of How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, encompasses 15.5 acres with a total of 162,500 square feet of rockwork, making it a Viking village for dragon-sized adventures. Okay, so that was just a fact for the Isle of Berk, not the ride itself. All right, so this next attraction is called Fire Drill, spelled with a Y, by the way, which, not gonna lie, just kind of reminds me of Firefest, and if you know, you know. This one has no minimum height requirement. It is a family-friendly ride. So it says, it's a soak or be soaked sea battle. With fire-breathing dragons everywhere, villagers have to be prepared. Viking twins, Rough Nut and Tough Nut, have transformed Berk's Fire School into a watery, interactive boat battle at sea. Board your ship in fire drill and blast your water cannons at flame-like targets, and the occupants of every other boat to outsoak other Vikings. And then the fast fact says, blast away in a watery boat battle. This watery sea adventure has water cannons that shoot over 28 feet through the air to reach the many targets throughout the ride, along with the other Viking ships. So this seems like it's definitely going to be a ride where you are going to get soaked. This kind of reminds me, I went to Legoland very long ago, and my memory is super fuzzy about it. I think it was like it was either 2013 or 2014. It might have been 2014. And there was a ride for Ninjago there that was like, it sounds a lot like this. And I just remember we got on the ride because it was really hot. It was like mid-July. And I remember we got on the ride with the intention to just get like a little bit wet because we had never been on it. No one in our party had been on it. We were, like, okay, let's check it out. Family, it's a family ride. We can bring the little one on there. And we get on that ride, and literally we went through like a couple of parts where we were shooting things, and then we turned this corner and there was just like a waterfall, and we went straight under the waterfall, and the whole boat just got drenched. And I remember my mom screaming like, well, I didn't think we were gonna get wet. Like, she wasn't dressed for that. And like, she's like, I didn't think we were gonna get this. I mean, we were just soaked from head to toe. So I have a feeling this is going to be like a similar type of situation. So you may want to make sure you bring a bathing suit. Obviously you can't wear bathing suits to a park, but like wear one underneath your clothes, or at the very least, like bring a poncho, because you're probably going to get soaked. It just sounds like it's going to be one of those things where you think, it's a kid's ride. No, you're going to get soaked. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it trucking. Now we're on, this is definitely for kids. And I can't partake in this, unfortunately, but I will, if I know anybody who has kids, I'll let them, I'll ask their opinion. But it's called Viking Training Camp. And it says, it's never been more fun to be a Viking. At Viking Training Camp, junior Vikings will discover all types of dragons in the sprawling, colorful, interactive play area. Adventures include multiple towers to climb and explore, a fun agility course, Viking drums and chimes to play, an interactive sheep launcher game. Oh, come on, I want to play that. I want to play the interactive sheep launching game. That sounds like fun. Plus slides and activities for the youngest Vikings. Come on, can we just play the Universal? Can we just play this sheep launching game like the adults? Like, I'm fine with I'm not going to climb in any of the slides. I just want to go to the sheep launching game. It just sounds like it'd be so much fun. I don't want to hurt animals. I just think that like this sounds funny to me. Like, I'm imagining like it's going to be something like toys or something, but it still seems like it's going to be like you put it in like a thing and then you launch it. That's going to be so much fun. To be a kid again. So then the fast pass, I keep saying fast pass, the fast fact is spot the props in the world of Vikings and dragons. The Isle of Berk contains 119 buckets, 175 barrels, 168 crates, 151 feed sacks, 115 books, and 120 baskets. Some of these can be spotted in the Viking training camp. Any children that just tell them all of those numbers and tell them they gotta find as many of these as possible. Don't stress them out. If this is their vacation, don't stress them out. And then the final thing we have is a restaurant, which I'm actually really excited for this restaurant because I think it's gonna just taste amazing. And this is called the Mead Hall. Well, now, first of all, I love mead, so I'm gonna definitely be having mead when I get there. So it says, gather round for a Viking feast. Here's the place to eat and drink like a Viking. The Mead Hall is Berk's main gathering place, a grand chamber hewn from mountain rock where Vikings feast on a hearty menu, including meat, fish, sandwiches, and desserts. Beverages include assorted meads, ciders, and ales. All things that I love to drink. So I will be enjoying the mead hall. And then the fast fact says a Viking hall of grand scale. The village's main gathering place has faux entrance doors standing at an impressive 16 feet 7 inches tall. That is a lot. But it says that they're faux, so they guess they don't open. But that would be cool if they opened like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Which one is that? I haven't seen those movies in so long. But he pushes the doors open. I think that was the second movie, or was it the third movie? I don't remember. I just remember the scene of him pushing the doors open and coming in, and it was like so badass. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. But yeah, no. So that's the Isle of Berk. So that is the How to Train Your Dragon land. There's also one other thing that's not on here, which I'm surprised about because they do highlight it in the video, and that is you can meet Toothless, the dragon, and it is going to be like this big animatronic, and it's probably going to be super cute, maybe like a puppet sort of deal, kind of like the raptor encounter that they have at Jurassic Park. I'm excited for this because I love Toothless. So it's going to be super cute to meet Toothless. Yes, I will not really stand in line to meet characters. I'm at that age where I just don't want to do that, but this I probably will do. All right, let's move on to Super Nintendo World. Doo doo doo. I'm not going to sing it too much cuz So Super Nintendo World in Epic Universe is going to have two lands. I do believe they are updating the one in Japan to include Donkey Kong Country, but we're getting Super Mario Land and Donkey Kong Country. So, yay. And this one just says, step inside the worlds of your favorite Nintendo games. Super Mario Land, battle Team Bowser on Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, journey through colorful landscapes on Yoshi's Adventure, and more. And then Donkey Kong Country, discover the action and fun as you help Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong protect the Golden Banana in Minecart Madness and more. So let's get into these attractions, shall we? So most of these attractions are pretty much the same as the ones in Hollywood and Japan, but I will go over them again just in case you're not familiar with either of those. So Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, it does have a minimum height requirement of 42 inches or 107 centimeters. And then you actually do, if you're under 48 centimeters, you have to have like an adult with you or somebody who's taller. And it is a 3D experience. Technically, I'm not sure because it doesn't really say. I know that in the other parks, it's an AR experience, like the stuff, like you wear like these glasses and then the stuff appears. I'm guessing that's the same thing. It just says 3D 40s. I don't know if they're going to forego that and it's just going to be a 3D experience. I don't know. But it says, experience Mario Kart like never before. On Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, you'll put on special goggles and steer through iconic courses alongside Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach. In this interactive ride, you'll collect digital coins and throw shells to try to defeat Team Bowser and win the Golden Cup. With multiple outcomes, it's a different experience each time you ride. So that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've seen this ride and I am excited for it. That's definitely one that's like high up on my list. So I'm excited to try it. Then we have Minecart Madness, which is the Donkey Kong coaster that we're getting. And it actually has a minimum height requirement of 36 inches with 92 centimeters, with children under 48 inches have to be supervised. I'm kind of surprised by that because there is a jump in the middle of the coaster. I don't know how they're going to do this. I actually saw a picture of it the other day, like the actual coaster, and I saw the jump, and I'm like, what sort of magic are you guys going to do to make this work? Because there was no track. That's all I gotta say was there was no track. I kept looking in that picture to see where the track is, unless it's like invisible track or see-through track. I just like, it looks like it's jumping over something, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Now, it does say that you're not actually going to be jumping, but I want to know how they did it. But I kind of don't want to know also. So it says, take a wild ride through Donkey Kong Country. It's up to you to help Donkey Kong protect the Golden Banana on Minecart Madness. Enter the majestic Golden Temple, board your minecart, and take off in this thrilling family coaster. Speeding through the mine, you'll appear to jump across gaps in the track and perform other eye-popping feats from the Donkey Kong Country video games. So that one sounds like it's going to be a technological feat. I am so interested in how they're going to pull off the jumps. I'm so interested in how they're going to pull off the jumps because they are, I mean, like I said, I saw a picture. If I can find it when I'm editing, I'll insert it here. But it's just like a jump. It looks like there's nothing there. Like, it looks like, I don't know what they're going to do. Are they gonna like have a crane drop, pick you up and like take you to the other side? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Universal knows how to do things, so we'll see. Then we have Yoshi's Adventure, which is a slow moving sort of dark ride. It has a minimum height requirement of 36 inches or 92 centimeters, and it also, again, if you're under 48 inches, you do need an adult. A colorful adventure the little ones will love. Take a ride with Yoshi's and search for the glowing eggs in this enchanting, family-friendly attraction. On Yoshi's Adventure, you'll weave your way through iconic Mushroom Kingdom landscapes, encountering many familiar characters and spotting hidden colored eggs along your journey. I think it's going to be super cute. It looks like such a cute ride, and who doesn't love Yoshi? I mean, don't answer that. You might be one of those people that don't love Yoshi, but I love Yoshi. I think he's very cute. So I'm excited to see what they do with that one. I know that they have it at the other two. Then we also have what I'm looking forward to. Say hello to Mario and Friends. So it's a character meet and greet, and it's basically, so it says meet some of your favorite characters at Super Nintendo World. Experience Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and other favorite characters at Super Nintendo World. So they do have Mario and Luigi you can meet, Princess Peach, and then what I'm looking forward to, Toad. I love Toad so much. So like I am 100% like waiting so I can do a picture with him. I'm probably not that much taller than him, which is, I'm probably the same height as Toad. Let's be honest. I could be Toad. You don't know that. I could be Toad. But I love Toad. His voice is so funny. I just love it so much. It's so funny. And then we have, I think, one more thing. Yes, the restaurant. So it says, it's called the Toadstool Cafe. And it says, even the food is fun at Toadstool Cafe. Fuel up at Toadstool Cafe, where you can watch Chef Toad cooking up some of his favorite recipes and see playful scenes of the Mushroom Kingdom through the windows. Enjoy tasty creations prepared daily, including soups, salads, and sandwiches, as well as delicious entrees and delectable desserts. So I hope the food is themed as cutely as it is in the one in Japan, because it doesn't have to be the exact same cuisine, but it needs to be like designed very cutely. I don't think that Universal's going to let us down with that one, but it better be like the cutest food I've ever eaten. All right. And now we're moving on to the one I am the most excited for, and that is Dark Universe. When they first announced that they were going to be doing a land themed off of Universal Monsters, I was shook. I was shook. I was like, how are they going to pull this off? And I think I had the thought, as much as I love it, I had the thought of like, how are they going to have an entire land dedicated to old school horror movies in a park that is, in a theme park? Because and already, even with the announcements that they've made, there have been people that are complaining about it because they're like, that's too scary for my child. That's too scary for my child. And I mean, the good news is you don't have to go into this land. You do have the option to avoid this land. All of the lands you'll be able to enter in through like these portals. So you can't really like get in, I think, in any other way. So like you can avoid this land altogether and your kids never have to actually step foot in it. But I do think that they're kind of making it a little kid friendly, which I think is very good because it, like they said in the video, and like I said, I will leave the videos in the description below. It is a PG-13 version. So it's a nice balance of, hey, we know adults really like this, but we're also making this appropriate for children as well. And I like that. I do appreciate that. So this first ride, this first attraction, I am so excited for. They are hyping the crap up out of this one. And from the video, they said this is probably one of the most technologically advanced rides in the world. Now, obviously, theme parks say that a lot, and then it's not true. But I do believe that this is going to be, from the way they're describing it, is going to be a very intense ride. And maybe a little bit too scary for kids, if we're being completely honest. But I'm fine with that, because I can do it. And this ride is called Monsters Unchained, The Frankenstein Experiment. And this one has a minimum height requirement of 48 inches or 122 centimeters. And it is a motion simulator ride. So it says, try to escape Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's latest experiment. In Monsters Unchained, The Frankenstein Experiment, Dr. Victoria Frankenstein continues the work of her ancestors deep below the family estate. A demonstration of her experiments to control monsters goes awry when Dracula leads a revolt of enraged monsters, including the Wolfman, the Mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and more. And it's going to be located in a manor. which is, I'm all about that. And then it does say here for the fast fact, the Super Nintendo World one didn't have fast facts, but for fast fact for this one, it says a gripping spectacle of heat and harmony. The Phantom of the Opera's organ within Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, features 14 individual flame points that shoot vertical flames over 3 feet in the air and dance in synchronicity with the organ music. That sounds pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm so hyped for that. That sounds real. That sounds sick. Then we have another ride that I think is going to be very fun. It's called Curse of the Werewolf. And I mean, guess what this is about? This one does have a height requirement of 40 inches and it's 102 centimeters. Now, it is described as a family coaster, but considering the fact that there's like a wolf jump scaring at one point in the ride, I don't know how well kids are going to respond to this one. Hopefully, it's not enough of an outcry that they tone it down. I mean, I don't know what the ride's going to be. We'll see. And it is a spinning coaster from what I read. So you'll I'll yeah. Anyways, so now it's your turn to face the cursed. Maleva, the leader of the Guild of Mystics, welcomes you to a secluded wagon camp. Here you're warned of the creatures who prowl the deep woods. Before long, you're riding Curse of the Werewolf. Surrounded by glowing eyes and gnashing teeth, you'll spin and weave through the forest as you attempt to escape a pack of werewolves. So yeah, you're basically getting cursed at this point. And then the fast factor this one says, into the lair of the wolf. Curse of the Werewolf tears through the dark forest at 37 miles per hour for over 2 minutes of sheer thrill, racing through a dark foreboding shed with mysterious figures clawing ever so near. Ooh, it's going to be super scary. Then we have a really cool thing. I think it's interesting. We'll see what this one is. So this one's called Darkmoor Monster Makeup Experience. It says, release your inner creature for the world to see. At Darkmoor Monster Makeup Experience, Dr. Pretorius's old lab has been converted into a parlor to continue the spirit of his demented experiments. Here, skilled artisans use their talents to experiment on customers and release their inner love of universal monsters, be they werewolves, mummies, vampires, or something even more fashionably monstrous. So this one says, the fast fact says, the artist breathing life into legends. The monsters of Darkmoor include original creations from industry-leading and award-winning makeup and special effects artists, bringing your favorite monsters to life with their extraordinary skills. Now they did, I don't know if they still do, have a face painting experience in Universal Studios Orlando, that they were using like airbrushing, and it was really cool and it looked really high quality, and I'm assuming this is going to be of a similar vein. I've seen a lot of people who were excited about this land complaining about this because they're like, oh, face painting, that's for kids. And it's like, if you like Halloween and you like dressing up, see, I love Halloween, and one of my favorite things about Halloween is dressing up, doing my makeup, being crazy, and that's never going to change. I'll be like 60 and I'll probably still be like doing my makeup crazy or whatever. And so I think something like this is cool. It's not only appealing to young kids who might want to get made up, it's also going to be appealing to adults who might also want to get made up. And I can guarantee you it's going to cost a pretty penny, especially if they're using like high quality makeup and stuff that's not going to melt in the summer heat. Yeah, I can guarantee you that it's going to be very expensive and very expensive experience. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but to try to say like it's just like county fair face painting is like denigrating the hard work of all the makeup artists that are probably like gonna be doing this. So I'm personally really excited for it. I will be getting my face painted when I'm there. I don't know what yet. I might do the vampire. You never know. Because I do love me some vampires. But you never know. I think it's really cool that they're offering this experience because I think it's something that both kids and adults can enjoy. I don't think it's going to be carnival, like with the little palette going like that, and it's going to be really like clownish looking, like fake make, unless you ask them to make you look like a clown. They might make you look like a clown if you want. I think it's going to be more like high quality, high tech, and like not high tech, but like high quality and like really good, really interesting. So yeah, I think that's going to be really cool, and I don't see why people are complaining about it. Then they also have say hello to the residents of Darkmoor Village. Meet some of the monsters of Dark Universe. Visit Darkmoor Village and meet its inhabitants, including Frankenstein's monster and his bride, Igor, the invisible... You can meet the Invisible Man? Isn't he supposed to be invisible? All right, I'm moving on. A courageous monster hunter or a musician who may regale you with songs about the village. Oh God, I'm gonna love that. I'm sorry. Oh my God, a bard? Forget it. I'm gonna be all about it. A bard just singing the songs about the monsters. This is gonna be great. Feel free to say hello and take photos with them, but beware, you never know who or what may be lurking in the shadows. Oh man, that's so cool. I can't wait. I'm still kind of reeling at the fact that you can meet the invisible. He's supposed to be invisible. How are you going to meet the invisible man? Oh, man, that's cool, though. I love that. All right. And then we have Das Steakhouse, which is a dining option. And yes, steak is spelled exactly how you expect. I mean, I'm going to put a picture of it on the screen, but steak is spelled exactly how you would expect it to be spelled. Enjoy a monstrously good meal. Shrouded in mystery, Das Steakhouse is an old inn and dining hall built over the ruins of ancient catacombs. Here you can enjoy a meal surrounded by vampire artwork and artifacts. In fact, the restaurant is run by vampires' familiars or servants. Just don't venture down to the catacombs below, or you might find yourself on the vampire's menu, especially after eating all that steak. Fast fact is the world through their eyes. Das Steakhouse's many paintings depict the world of vampires from their point of view, painting them as heroes in their stories, while displaying some of Darkmoor's history and referencing its architecture. I'm already gonna love this restaurant because it's run by familiars. So, and if any of the vampires in the catacombs are looking for a familiar, I am available on Saturdays and Sundays. So, oh, this is wild. And then the last dining option we have is called the Burning Blade Tavern. Now, I thought this was really cool. They described this in the video, but back in the day when the old Universal Monsters movies like were playing, they used to always have a burning windmill. So they decided to create a restaurant out of the burning windmill. So every now and then it is going to catch the windmill is going to catch fire. I don't know how they're going to do that, but hey, they make a dragon breathe fire in Diagon Alley, so I'm pretty sure they can, make a windmill catch fire safely. So this one says have a burning desire for a tasty meal. The Burning Blade Tavern is an old mill which Darkmoor Village's monster hunters have transformed into their hangout. Here, guests will discover stories of some of the countryside's most accomplished creatures capturers, along with a menu of burgers, wings, bratwurst, pretzels, and beverages. And then the fast fact is Darkmoor Village's hottest eatery. The windmill at the top of the Burning Blade erupts into flames several times an hour. Two types of fuel are used. Oh, in different ratios. It's allowing for easy visibility to guests during both day and night. So, first of all, I gotta say, the one thing I really like about Dark Universe so far, and all the lands are kind of like this, but I love how it feels like it's a fantasy story, like even a dark horror fantasy story just come to life. And I can't wait to see how they execute this. Obviously, we have a whole nother year before it's open, but I really can't wait to see how they execute Dark Universe because from the artwork, the architecture, everything I'm seeing, it just feels like you're going to be immersed in this like gothic story, and I love that. I mean, like, I'm gonna eat that up. Like, I mean, obviously this is a horror centered channel, and like that's another reason why I wanted to cover this is because they just talked about this last week and I was like screaming in my room about it. Not really, but I was like excited. I do think that this is going to be like the land for me. Like, yes, originally my most anticipated land was the Super Nintendo one because I had seen so many videos of Japan's and I was like, oh, I'm really excited for that. I love Nintendo. And it was crazy because then when they announced the Universal Monsters, I was like, I want to see how they execute that. But from all the artist renderings, all the artwork, the descriptions that the creative team have given, I am so ready to be immersed in Darkmoor. Like, I am so ready to be immersed in this world and to feel like I am living in a Universal Monsters, like, horror film, but, like, without the threat of, like, loss of life. So I'm really excited. This park is going to be amazing. And of course, the Harry Potter stuff, I'm sure, is going to be very enjoyable to some people. I know they said something about the ride being one of the most technologically advanced rides that they've ever made, but they also said that about the Monsters Unleashed one. So, like, which one is it? Like, theme parks just be saying stuff sometimes, and it's totally fine. They're well within their rights, especially if the ride ends up to be being really good. So regardless, I'm excited. This is a huge deal that they're opening this park. This is going to be one of the biggest, like, most ambitious projects they've done in a long time, probably since Islands of Adventure, which was all the way back in 1999 now. Yikes. I am super excited to see how Epic Universe plays out when it opens next year. I'm hoping there aren't too many technical issues. I'm hoping everything goes smoothly, swimmingly, wonderfully. And I am hoping that I am hoping that there is, um, a, a bit of crowd control. Like, obviously, don't bar people from coming, but I do hope there's a bit of crowd control because I have a feeling this park is going to be packed for like the next 5 or 6 years, especially if it's really as good as they say. It's going to be packed beyond belief. And I do hope there's a little bit of crowd control, even if it's just limiting, because I can only imagine these lands, they might be pretty big, but they're going to feel a lot smaller if you have like thousands of people. I have distinct memories of when Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley opened up in Universal Studios and in Islands of Adventure, and just the sheer amount of people that we had to wade through. In fact, when I went to Hogsmeade the first time it opened, we actually had to wait in line just to get into the area. That wasn't even for the ride. It wasn't for anything. It was just to get inside of the area. All the stores had lines. I don't even think I went in any of the stores because they all had lines. Like, there was just no way to get into the stores. So that's something I hope they take into consideration. Of course, obviously, I want them to make money, so I know they're not going to limit and stop people from coming in. But I do hope they figure out a way to manage the crowds, even if it does mean like reducing the size of how many people can go into each area. Not obviously not dramatically, but because I think some of the character interactions, especially in a place like Dark Universe, will get lost if you've got 5,000 people like funneling through one area to go to one ride, And I also do hope, this is just my call to people who are interested in going to this park, I hope you take it all in. I hope you take it all in. Don't just go there because you want to ride the rides and screw everything else. Eat at the restaurants. Go to the shows, interact with the characters. If you've got kids, take them to the fun little play places. Like, do things that, don't just worry about the big thrill rides and, all that stuff. Because, yeah, that stuff's fun and, like, I'm sure it's going to be great. And I'm not knocking those thrill rides. But I definitely want people to take it all in because this seems like it's a park that's more interested in immersing you in these worlds and these stories, that I would hate for people to just run there and just think about getting on the rides and taking a bunch of pictures with a bunch of the architecture and then leaving. Like, really get lost in it when you go, because I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those parks that's going to just change everything for the theme park industry. And when it does, it's going to cause every other theme park to follow suit and step up their game. Like, it happens every so often, every few years. One of the parks does something so innovative that it causes everybody to kind of rise to the occasion. I think this is going to be a very successful venture for Universal. I'm very excited to see where this goes. And I have incredibly high hopes for this park. I have incredibly high hopes, and I just am excited for 2025 to experience this park. I'm excited to go. I'm really proud of Universal for going ahead and doing this. I think it's an ambitious move, but it is a great one because, in my opinion, and I will say this with my whole chest, ain't no park on this earth doing immersive lands the way that Universal Studios does it. And I will die on that hill. Like, there ain't no park in this world doing immersive lands the way Universal Studios does it. And I think that they raised the bar and everybody's got to kind of match them. Doesn't mean I don't love the other parks. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I really do love them. But I definitely look at their worlds and I go, they just keep raising the bar. And just from the artist renderings of this park alone, I think we're in for something really special in 2025. If everything goes exactly to plan, I think we're in for something really, really special. So that is my Epic Universe coverage, and like I said, I will be leaving a link in the description to the Epic Universe page from Universal. I urge you to keep an eye on it. They will be announcing, I'm sure soon, if not like in the next couple of weeks, the Wizarding World stuff. So if that's something you're really excited for, definitely check that out. Check out the stuff for Dark Universe if you're a horror fan. If you're here because you know I do horror stuff, check out the stuff for Dark Universe, because if you were not even aware this park was existing, and you were not even aware that they were doing a Universal Monsters Land, I guarantee you it's gonna make you climb up the wall with excitement. And probably if you don't live in Florida, you're gonna be booking a trip to Florida sometime soon. So that's all I have for you guys today. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know that a lot of you guys have been liking the horror movie videos I've been doing, and I do fully want to get back to them. I've got a few more fun things planned after I get back from my trip visiting my family. Hopefully might have a video. I may have a video next week. It just depends on how something I'm doing this weekend goes. I may have one, I may not. And then after that, we will have the super fun Halloween Horror Nights video, and hopefully we will have... I'm guessing that it won't be till the end of July that we'll have all the IP announcements, because man, they are dragging their feet. They announced The Quiet Place, and they're like, that's all you're getting. And I fully 100% believe they were announcing that because the movie comes out this weekend. They were like, we're announcing it now to get it out the way so you guys know it's coming. But in any case, I'm still hype about whatever Universal's gonna do for Halloween Horror Nights. I got my ticket already. I'm ready to go. I'm going opening night, and I will see you guys in like a couple of weeks when I get back from my trip. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and joining me again on another creepy critique.